Hi guys, this is going to be a tag video today, and I've been seeing this one going on around. Sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's 30, and that's the random facts about me tag. I've only managed in the last 3 weeks to write down 30 that are even mildly interesting. In fact, none of them are interesting really. But I'm just going to start. I'm just going to go through them. I'm going to try not to explain and stop on each one to let you know why that was a random fact. There might be a couple that I'll explain, but apart from that, I'm just going to get through it because otherwise this video is going to last forever. Right, so number one. I was not born in hospital. I was born in my mum's bedroom. So yeah, I was the last out of 3. My brother was born in hospital and me and my sister weren't. So there you go. Number 2, I was actually due on firework night, which is the 5th of November. But I was born on the 4th simply because my mum and dad were coming back from having a drink in the pub and some stupid little boys let off a firework behind my mum, a banger, and it frightened her so much she went into labour. That's what I've been told. Okay, number 3. When I was 3, I nearly lost my eye whilst hiding from my brother. Now, yeah, I'll explain this one because my brother was pretty mean to me when I was little, and I used to play horrible tricks on him and then run away and hide. And one day, we lived in an old farmhouse at the time on a farm, and with old farmhouses come old locks and keys, and I ran into the house and shut the door and locked it with the big iron key, and I was looking through the keyhole to see if my brother was coming. I didn't lock the door properly, and my brother basically kicked the door, and the key, or the door, shot back in my face and hit me sort of here, like right in the bone. Luckily there was no permanent damage. I didn't actually break a bone, I didn't chip it, and it didn't actually cut, but I had a nice black eye for about 4 days, so that was cool when I was 3. Number 4, I am a Scorpio. Very passionate but very deadly if provoked, so be warned. Number 5, my favourite colour is any shade of purple, so be light lilac, dark purple, light purple. Totally contradicting myself because I'm wearing all blue today, but there you go. Yeah, purple is my favourite colour. 6, when I was young, I always wore Argyle socks. You know, the ones with the diamonds on it. Yeah, I always wore Argyle socks. I don't know why, the knee-high ones. But I've never played golf. So there you go. That's the random fact number 6. Number 7, I first bleached my hair when I was 12 years old, without asking my parents. And yeah, it didn't go well. My hair went about 5 different shades of orange. But yeah, the first time I ever bleached my hair I was 12. I think I do it a little bit better now. What's your opinion? I think it looks okay. Number 8, if I won the lottery, I would like to move to Jersey. Now, I don't know whether to change that one or not now, because I would love to have a holiday home in Jersey. I don't think I'd move out there permanently, to be honest. But then if I won the lottery, I could always hop on my private jet and just come back over and see my family whenever I wanted. So yeah, possibly move to Jersey. Number 9, I hate spiders to the point where I shake, physically shake if I see a spider. I hate it. Number 10, now a lot of you might not know who this is, but then a lot of you might know who it is, so whatever. Number 10 is I once got Adam Faith kicked out of our local cinema. Now I will explain this one. It was quite cool. Adam Faith lived in the town where I grew up, which is not far from where I am now, and he pulled up one night when we were queuing for the cinema, and he got out of his big Bentley or Rolls Royce or whatever it was with his girlfriend sitting in the passenger seat, and he was writing a little note, and he stuck it on the door to say that he was going out for a meal, and then he would be back sort of after the film initially starts, so that obviously he wouldn't have the fuss of getting in because he was quite famous at the time as an actor. And he stuck it on the door, and we all just sort of stood there and looked at him and okay, fine. Why you should have the right to do that, I don't know. And he got in his car and drove off. So just before they opened the doors, I removed the note from the door and I binned it, basically. It wasn't a dare. I just think that my personal opinion was he lives in a town of normal people. He's going to a normal cinema. He should act as a normal person. And yeah, so I binned that, and then about 10 minutes into the film we all heard a commotion in the reception area of the cinema, where Adam Faith was rather rudely shouting at the ushers, saying that he'd left this note on the door. It was a full house and everyone was, like, all the seats were taken, that he had specifically put this note on the door, and because there was no note on the door they didn't believe him, so they had him removed. So that was quite funny. Number 11, I have sold tennis equipment to Francis Rossi from Status Quo. Story behind that, I used to work in a sports shop. In the town that we lived in, there was quite a few famous at the time people. Obviously Francis Rossi was famous when I was younger because he was in Status Quo, and that was a big band. So yeah, and he used to come in and get his tennis equipment. On the same note, I have sold school uniform to Annika Rice for her children, not for her, I might add. But yeah, that's in the same store. We had a school uniform department upstairs, and she lived within the local area, and she sort of came in and got her kids' school uniform. Number 13, I'm not frightened of death, but I am afraid of dying. So yeah, you can pretty much work out what that means for yourself. I'm not actually afraid of death. When it comes, it comes. There's nothing we can do about it. But it's, if you suffer and you're in pain leading up to the dying, the death, that's what bothers me. I don't like pain. Number 14, I have had 5 hamsters in my entire sort of youth life. And they were all called Hammy. So there you go. 5 hamsters all called Hammy. Number 15, I've always wanted to swim with dolphins. I think there's 101 people out there that could say the same thing. 16, I almost ran a policeman down whilst riding my then boyfriend's moped. Yeah, that was quite funny. We were riding the moped around the back of the church, and someone had obviously called the police to say there was a commotion going on, and the police came and he walked around the back of the church and we didn't know he was there. I was on the front, my boyfriend at the time was on the back, and I panicked and revved the moped instead of pressing the gate at the brake, and yeah, I stopped within about that far away from his foot, so that was quite funny. I don't think I got arrested. I might have got a caution. Number 17, when I was 13, I was paralysed for a month, basically, a bit more than a month actually, with a freak blood disorder. The doctors didn't know what it was. They couldn't find anything. Well, they found what had happened to me, but they couldn't explain it, and so they put it down to having a virus. Basically, I lost a third, maybe 2-3 of my white blood cells in my body. They just disappeared, and I couldn't fight off any sort of untoward cold diseases, and yeah, I was very ill. When I was 13, my father had to carry me to the toilet, which was rather embarrassing, but yeah, I was having blood tests 4 times a day. They really didn't know what it was. I didn't want to go into hospital, so I stayed at home, and yeah, basically woke up one morning feeling a lot better, and suddenly decided to get out of bed and walk, so that was quite freaky. Number 18, it can take up to 6 people to hold me down just to have a blood test because I'm terrified of needles. Number 19, I've had over 20 jobs since I left school. Number 20, I can sing. Just thought I'd put that in there. 21, my best friend at the time saved me from being struck by lightning. This was when I was haymaking with my dad, or hay baling with my dad, because he was a farmer, and it was the field out the back of my then best friend's house, and it was a really bad thunderstorm, and we had to get the hay in, obviously, because otherwise it spoils. And we were sitting in the van because thunderbolts were coming down everywhere, literally hitting the ground, and I was really panicking that my dad was out there, so I went to get out the van, and this lightning bolt just came right down between the door and the truck, and just before I stepped out underneath it, my friend grabbed me by the collar and pulled me back in, so that was quite freaky. Yeah, could have been hit by lightning. Number 22, at school I sold homemade chewing gum made from, I don't even want to admit this, toothpaste and loo roll. Basically, you used to mix it all up, like loads of loo roll, crunch it all up, and then mix it with toothpaste into little balls, and you could use it as chewing gum. How sad is that? But yes, that's what I used to do. I sold them for about 10p a little thing, I think. 23, I used to have a cat and a dog, and they were called Sooty and Sweep. if I could have dinner, this is number 25, if I could have dinner with any famous person, it would have to be Lee Evans, because I just love him to bits. 26, every night before I go to sleep. Oh, this is such a sad one. Every night before I go to sleep, I kiss my wedding ring 4 times. Once for my husband and 1 for each of my children. And I have always done it. I don't know why. I just have. 27. No, not 27. Yeah, 27. I met my hubby when I was 15. And yeah, we are still together and still very happy. You might add. 28. I am terrified of heights. But the one place in the world I would love to visit is the Grand Canyon. So work that out. Number 29. I am absolutely obsessed with anything vampire. Number 30, my dream holiday would be a shopping trip. A shopping trip to New York. I would love to just have the money, go out there, spend 2 or 3 days in New York and just buy everything I wanted. It would be fab. And the last one, which I think is 31, so this was 31 random facts. The last one I'm still determined to do, and I will do it by the end of the year, so you will have to stick with me to make sure it happens. Number 31 is, by the end of 2013, I will be a trained makeup artist. So yeah, that is my 30 or 31 random facts about me. I tag all my friends to do this because it is fun and it's quite challenging actually to try and think of, well, it's supposed to be 50, but trying to think of 30 things, random facts about you that no one else or none of you know. It's quite challenging. So I challenge you all to do it, and I'd love to see it. Leave it with a video response or just post it up on YouTube and I'll watch it anyway. Okay guys, I love you all so much and I will see you in my next video. Bye.